Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope you're all doing well and having a good day. This is just going to be a short video. I say that all the time, but it usually ends up being about 10 minutes or something. But I'll try and keep this as short as I can. But firstly, I just want to say, obviously, thank you to everybody who continues to support this channel. I'm not an expert. I don't profess to be an expert. I don't profess to have all the solutions. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I'm just sharing with you some of my experience. And if you find it useful, that's great. I really hope you do. Today it's a bit of a light-hearted one. I just want to talk about this issue of of denial. Oh God. Now, we hear a lot of people saying that addicts are in denial and stuff like that, which to me, I think it's absolute hogwash. Um, how can you be in denial that you how can you be in denial that you have a problem, a serious problem, if you're continuing to gamble, even though you've made a firm decision not to do it? Um, how can you be in denial if you know that you can't help yourself putting that first bet on? How can you be in denial if you know that once you place that first bet, that it's game over, all hell breaks loose? How can you be in denial that when you gamble, if you're an addict, when you gamble, that potentially it's going to destroy your relationships, potentially it's going to destroy your family, potentially you're going to lose your home, and so on and so forth. How can you be in denial of these things if you know them already? I mean, this whole thing about denial, as far as I'm concerned, is bullshit. Gambling addicts aren't in denial that they have a problem. They know they're in trouble. Gambling addicts know they're in trouble. They're not thick. As gambling addicts, we're not unintelligent. We're not thick. Far from it. I mean, if you think of the ways and means we conjure up things to get money to gamble, it's quite ingenious. But the thing is, I mean, you have some people. Some people will say to you, denial, it ain't over in Egypt, baby. It's like, sod off, piss off. Because a lot of well-meaning people think that we are denying that we have a problem, when the majority of us know that we're bang in trouble anyway. And I mean, from a personal perspective, thousands of pounds was spent on therapy and stuff like that. And what the therapist was trying to get me to do was to realise the consequences of my gambling. But I knew that before I even started going to therapy. That was the reason why I went to therapy in the first place, because I knew the consequences of my gambling were horrific. I wasn't in denial about the fact. I knew that I was bang in trouble. I knew that I couldn't help myself. I knew that if I placed that one more bet, that the likelihood would be that I would lose my family and everything that I cherish daily in my life. It's not a case of denying it. I mean, they genuinely think that, we just don't know that we've got a problem. Which is crazy. How many of you know that you're bang in trouble with gambling, or have known that you're bang in trouble with gambling, but still can't stop yourself? That's not because of denial. Denial suggests that you're consciously trying to say to yourself, I don't have a problem. Do many of you do that? I certainly didn't. I knew I was in trouble for years. But didn't have a way to figure out a pathway out of that. Now, like I say, I had many experiences of quite severe trauma as a result of gambling. That for an ordinary person, a non-gambling addict, they would think, that's it, game over, I'm not doing it again. But for the gambling addict, it's not you're not denying that you have a problem, or that all hell breaks loose once you place that first bet. You know that exactly, but you just can't stop yourself from doing it. That's what it means to be addicted. I talk previous videos about my time as a 16-year-old when I went out one evening, bought 2 bottles of sherry with my pocket money, drank 2 bottles of sherry, became violently ill, thrown up everywhere. I was ill for about 5 days. How I didn't end up in hospital having my stomach pumped, God only knows. But I said to myself, I am never, ever going to do that again. And guess what? I'm nearly 50 now, and as I've said, I've never done it again. Because, you know what I mean? I know that stuff is bloody awful, and I can always remember how it made me feel. Even when I walk down an aisle in a supermarket now, all these years later, and I see a bottle of sherry, my stomach retches. It's a natural response to something that was quite traumatic for me as a 16-year-old. But that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that with gambling. And it's not because I'm consciously trying to convince myself that I don't have a problem. It's not at all. So when people say that the gambling addicts are in denial, it's bullshit. It's bullshit, because 90% of gambling addicts know they're in serious trouble and have known the precarious situation that they're in for many, many, many years, and they don't need to be paying don't need to be paying hundreds of pounds or thousands of pounds for a specialist to say, guess what? You can't gamble. Because, hey presto, we already know that. We're not thick. We already know that. So the issue is, it's not about gambling addicts on in denial about their issue with gambling. Gambling addicts are powerless to do anything about it, which is why no amount of painful experience can stop us without some form of intervention. There has to be some form of intervention, in order to bring about a change within our minds, within our selves, and in our outlook upon life. There has to be some form of intervention to stop that. Just saying to somebody, well, you just need to realise you can't do it, isn't going to cut the mustard, unfortunately. I hope this has been of some help. And take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.